Welcome everybody into Squabo 66 for week 9 of the NFL season, special Halloween edition. Please welcome for the special edition my special guest, PJ, Paul, the Jack-O-Lantern. Great to have you, buddy. Let's get right into it. Squabo 66, we're going through the NFL betting odds for week 9 of the NFL season. Let's start with Thursday Night Football. San Francisco at Arizona. San Francisco was very impressive last week in their win over Carolina, but I think they're looking forward to that Seattle matchup the following week, not this Thursday. So I think Arizona is going to keep it close throughout most of the ball game. San Francisco, 8-point favorite on the road, but it's a short week. You're on the road, and it's a divisional matchup, so I think it's going to be a little bit closer than people think. But in the end, San Francisco, I will give them credit because when they're able to run the football, which is always, they're able to win the ball game because that is how they want to play. San Francisco is going to be winning. They're going to score again late. I think they pull away. It's going to be 22-14. Then San Francisco is going to have another touchdown, or 23-14, excuse me. And then they're going to have one more touchdown, extend the ball game, 30-14 final score. I'm taking San Francisco and I'm swallowing the points on that one. Chicago at Philadelphia. Philadelphia is a 5-point favorite in this ball game, and I think it's for good reason. Philadelphia was very impressive last week in their win at Buffalo. And Chicago, disappointing. Everyone's getting on Mitch Trubisky. Yes, he is not the quarterback for the job, but in that game, he did what he had to. You got to take away from Matt Nagy. Matt Nagy in his post-game press conference saying that you don't even consider running or throwing the football to get in better field goal range. What are you doing? You have a timeout. You got to get closer. Make it easier on your kicker. You're testing fate with Chicago and kickers. You shouldn't be testing that right now, especially with a team that's underachieving. I don't like how that was coached. I think Matt Nagy is a great coach, offensively, scheme-wise, and defensively. He can come up with some good stuff, but that wasn't a quote that I would hold to his name. I think that was a bad moment in his career, and I think Chicago in this game, it's going to be another bad moment because they're going to lose, and they're going to lose bad. 30-19 final score. Chicago will make it interesting in the first half, but I think late, Philadelphia is going to pull away. Next matchup, Minnesota at Kansas City. This is very interesting because Kansas City kept it very close against Aaron Rodgers at home last week on Sunday Night Football. And Aaron Rodgers, that defense was unable to hold down Kansas City consistently until the very end. And so, to that note, I would say Kansas City offensively, they were able to find a mesh, but I think this Minnesota Vikings defense is better than that Green Bay defense. And I think this Minnesota Vikings offense is not better than that Green Bay offense, but they have more firepower in the trenches. Better offensive line, especially with the injuries that Green Bay has been going through, and the run game. Such a good run game they have going with Dalvin Cook. I'd say Minnesota in this game, they're going to surprise some people. They're going to go on the road to Kansas City, and they're going to squeak out a victory, especially because Kansas City, it's a lot easier to get up for that Sunday Night Football game against Aaron Rodgers, one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. This game, they're not going to be as up for it. It's on the regular Sunday slate, so I think Minnesota is going to have a little bit more energy in this ball game. I think Minnesota wins it, just barely taking the point spread, 24-20 final score. Minnesota wins. So Tampa Bay at Seattle. Let's talk about this matchup. Seattle is a 6.5-point favorite at home. I think that's going to hold up, but it's going to be very similar to the Atlanta scenario. I think they're going to win it early and then lay off the gas, play prevent defense, and Tampa Bay is going to make the score look like it was a closer ball game than it really was. I think Seattle is going to be able to win this game before it is over. I think they're going to get up big. I expect the final score to be about 28-20 though, because I think it'll be about 28-13, and then Tampa Bay is going to score while Seattle's in prevent defense, make it a little bit more interesting. If an onside kick goes their way, they'll have a chance, but I think Seattle's going to recover it, and that'll be game. So I'm taking Seattle, and I'm swallowing the points. Tampa Bay, Jameis Winston, too inconsistent. Sunday Night Football, New England at Baltimore. What a ball game this is going to be. Baltimore, clearly one of the better teams in the AFC, and New England, do I have to tell you? So Baltimore hosting New England. I'm glad to see them at home. I want to see New England get their first loss of the year because they're too privileged to always win. I hate that. And so New England in this game, they are a 3.5-point favorite. But I think they go on the road. That offense has been struggling. Their defense is great, yeah, but you got to tackle Lamar Jackson. Nobody can tackle Lamar Jackson. We know better than anyone, us Seahawks fans, which hurts bad. But they solidified their one of their strengths. Their cornerbacks. They already had Marlon Humphreys, or their secondary in general. They had Earl Thomas, who they got in the offseason and paid him big bank. It's paying off for them. And then now trading for Marcus Peters, their secondary is elite. Now their defense, their front seven, a load is taken off of them because of it. They still have some guys down there that can play some good football. And they're so well coached with Coach John Harbaugh. The coaching matchup is going to be great to watch. It's going to be a down-to-the-wire ball game on Sunday Night Football. But I don't think Baltimore is going to make the same mistakes that Cleveland made. And I think Baltimore is going to win this ball game, potentially on a game-winning field goal by Justin Tucker, 24-23. Baltimore wins on Sunday Night Football. I'm going away from the points, and I'm taking the underdog. This week, a lot of weeks I like to go away from the points. But this week, I'm going with the points for everything except one. I went against the points for Baltimore, but I'm going back with the points for Monday Night Football. Dallas at the New York Giants. Dallas, I think they should be a big favorite in this game. They're a 7-point favorite already. I think they're going to win by 10 at least, and that'll be with a New York late score. Saquon's back, that's great, but Dallas defensively, they've been able to stop the run at times throughout the season. They have the personnel. It's about, are they going to be able to do it? They added Michael Bennett. That's going to be a key piece as long as he's able to be down on the field during the anthem, which is something that was already required by the Cowboys. Already drama going on over there. I'm glad I'm not a part of that. But Dallas defensively, I think they have a lot of firepower now, especially adding Michael Bennett. We saw the pressure that they were able to get on the Philadelphia Eagles a couple weeks ago on Sunday Night Football. I think this is going to be a big test for the Giants to see how well they are able to score on offense against a superior opponent. This is going to be a situation where if Golden Tate is unable to be that number one guy that they want him to be, disappointment. If Saquon isn't able to have the running attack that he's had against other opponents, disappointment, because this is their number one guy. This is the number one team. If the New York Giants could be one team every single year, it's the Dallas Cowboys. They're going to be up for this game, but the Dallas Cowboys are going to win. They're going to dominate, and in the end, it's going to be a 10-point game, 30-20. I say Dallas wins this game, and I'm taking Dallas with the spread. Tune in every week at this time. Thursday, we're uploading Squabo 66. This was your special Halloween edition. Thank you, PJ. Once again, Paul the Jack-O-Lantern. Follow at DJ Squabo on Instagram, DJSQUABO, for daily content. Tune in every week. You don't want to miss it. We're going to make you guys some money.